Hello everyone, good afternoon or good evening, early evening for us, isn't it? Welcome once again. Let's start getting online. There's still a few minutes for us to start the lecture. Actually about 2 minutes. So for now, as you come online, allow yourself to get into the moment. Start allowing yourself to unwind from the normal day, from whatever you're doing before, just so you create space. You create space for reflection, to get a bit more in touch with your own thoughts, with your own soul. So if you join us now, we haven't started the lecture yet. We just start to get people online, which is awesome, So welcome every single one of you. I'm very pleased and thankful to be here today, with the opportunity to speak to you, to speak to all of us actually about honesty. We'll get the lecture started very soon. So maybe before then any delays, I'll ask you to then, if you feel comfortable, close your eyes, find yourself in a comfortable position, either in a living room or in your office, in your master bed, it doesn't matter. As long as the place you are can keep you away as much as possible from the noises or from the disturbance of the outside world, that's what we would like to promote at this stage. Let's give ourselves a deep breath. I'm breathing through my nose, allowing my body to relax a bit. In the same process, my consciousness starts to get connected on a higher level with the spirituality, with my mentor guides, with your mentor guides. And let's start this lecture tonight by thanking everything that we've been receiving, thanking everything we've been achieving, thanking all the conditions, the circumstances, no matter whether we like them or not. Because actually they were necessary for where we are and for where we chose to be. Let's thank the spirituality for have been supporting us all the way along, with our struggles, with our happy moments, with the ups and the downs. Let's also thank the spirituality for have been supporting the whole humanity through this phase that we are going through. And let's now get our thoughts, get our energy, get our intentions towards tonight's lecture, asking permission and asking our mentor guides to be here with us. Thanks God, thanks Jesus for it. So, welcome everyone. If you have joined us while we were doing the prayer, I have good news for you, you're not late. That's all good. I hope you had at least been able to follow some of the things we said during the prayer, and hopefully also those words, that energy could actually reach your place, reach your home, reach wherever you are right now, so you can be with us in these reflections. It is with a great level of joy and pleasure that I'm here speaking to you today. Obviously, everything that we are about to experience from now on, especially being here in Melbourne, it's now we're looking ahead, we're looking to different times, we're looking to be more positive. We have just got our freedom back here in Melbourne, which is awesome. And we're all, as a society, still recovering, and we're still dealing in many different extents, in many different ways, to the effects of the global pandemic. But I don't want to dwell on the topic of global pandemic today, because obviously we are absolutely, we had enough of it. Let's just say we had enough of it. So now today we would like to put our focus to discuss, to reflect on a theme, a topic, a subject, which for most of us is so trivial, it's so simple. And what I found myself very positively surprised, in fact, to be honest, quite excited to an extent, is to find that around such a simple topic, such a trivial, mundane definition, there is so much more that I probably couldn't connect before. And the subject of today is the man's honesty, our honesty as a being. Honesty, whether we are living through our physical life, in our societies. So we're going to be talking about what's that honesty look like? How does that honesty look like? And what is the definition of honesty when I actually look at a perspective from the ordinary civilization, mankind civilization? And how does that change when I wear the glasses of the divine reality or the universe? How does the divine honesty differs from my earthly understanding of man's honesty? Like I said just before, I found this theme when I started to read through and research it to be really amazing. And it certainly brought me a lot more awareness and, to an extent, a further degree of responsibility on the choices I make, certainly from the next minute after I read that content. So let's start from the basics, right? I guess we all probably would have a very good understanding and definition of what honesty means for us, or what has meant for since we know ourselves as people. Honesty is a behavior, an act, a way of life, let's put it that way, a combination of choices that we make towards being right about the things we do, be just about the things we do, act with justice, act with fairness, act with truth, not lying about something, not putting somebody else at danger or at jeopardy because of a choice that may favor myself as an individual, my family, or the people that I have more interest about. Sometimes such a, how can I say, trivial terminology or word as honesty becomes even hard to explain if you were to write a definition of honesty, right? Which is what I'm struggling to do here. But I think we all know really well what honesty is in our social lives, in our physical lives. Yeah, so I am honest every time I, let's say, pay my bills on time. I am honest every time I don't say any lies to anybody, right? I'm honest when I'm truthful in my relationships. I'm honest every time I trust my friends, and I also conquer and build up the trust from my friends towards everything that I do and how I act in society, right? And that's the fundamental basic understanding of honesty that we all have. And obviously, a lot of us, even though we may not think about how honest have I been today, when we actually lay on our beds and rest our head on our pillow, and it's probably not a how can I say, a daily reflection that we do. But if we look back for the last month or last year, and we ask ourselves, have I been honest in general? I think 99.9% of us will say, yes, I have. Yeah. Because I haven't done this wrong, or I haven't lied to this person, or I haven't missed this thing, or I haven't actually created, I haven't actually initiated a fight or anything, right? And what the teachings of today brings us is a completely different perspective of the word or the terminology or even the actual understanding of honesty, but looking from a different glass or different glasses, looking from the divine perspective. So from the divine perspective, honesty goes well beyond of this very restricted understanding that we have as physical people on earth, living in specific societies that have rules, have laws, and my compliance or not to those rules and laws to somehow define how honest I am. Divine honesty expands 360 degrees. If I was to make a very black and white comparison, it's the same that if I was looking at our bodily or physical existence honesty, understanding as a spectrum of vision of about 30 to 45 degrees of field of view. And suddenly, when I looked at the divine honesty, I opened up to 360 degrees. And why? What do I mean by that? Well, it starts with the pure definition, what we already discussed about it, right? Being righteous about something, having a righteous life. Do everything from a good intention perspective. But whereas on earth, in our physical existence, what defines a dishonest action to an honest action, it's pretty much defined based on human laws, or country law, or certain ethical law, or whatever. When I take that on the scale of the divine understanding of honesty, right? I start to look for everything that actually was taught by our Master, Jesus Christ. Right? Because at the end, everything goes to the same set of core values, moral values, beliefs. So I am honest according to the divine laws. Every time I don't create or I don't cause any harm, I don't cause any disadvantage, I don't cause any problems as such to any of my brothers and sisters. And a very simple way that we can easily do that is when we actually just gossip about people's lives, isn't it? Because the gossiping on its own, it's a non-productive act, because it typically carries non-confirmed facts, non-confirmed information that is normally very biased to a certain specific section of a perspective, and then doesn't bring the whole spectrum of let's say, facts, figures, and information about that circumstance, so we have a much better understanding of that individual. So gossiping on its own, yeah, or saying bad things about somebody, according to the divine view, is an act of lack of honesty or dishonest act. See how different it is? In the physical laws, or on the earthly set of laws, we receive no official punishment from the police or the law system or the justice system if we say bad things about somebody else, isn't it? Nobody receives a fine, of course, keeping that to a very day-by-day sort of scale. We're not talking about publicly start saying things about somebody that can certainly cause problems, right? But if I'm referring more to the chit-chats, to the day-by-day discussions, right? So you see the difference in scale. Whereas in the physical world that we all live in, a lot of those little things are not, punishable to an extent. The good act towards them, or myself asserting myself not to speak badly about somebody, not to refer to my brothers and sisters that I wouldn't refer to even myself, constitutes a small piece of my honest foundation, my honest divine foundation. Every time I can contain my pride, my jealousy, my ambition, so I don't make those vices of my own moral values, a negative consequence to the people around me. Yeah, I'm actually reinforcing that honest foundation, my honesty pillars. Every time that I am a pacifist in every interaction that I have, a pacifist is somebody that, of course, doesn't create anger, doesn't create violence as a natural reaction of the way he or she goes through its relationships. So I may still disagree with a point of view. I may still have my opinion. I may still assert myself and what my thoughts and beliefs are. And I still may express them very assertively. But being a pacifist, it doesn't necessarily mean that I am absent, that I withdraw myself from saying what I think is right, from defending who needs to be protected. And we often confuse pacifist with passive. The pacifist is the one that raises the peaceful flag, or the peace flag. So every time I actually go through society, discussing difficult topics, asserting my opinion, obviously, if my opinion is founded by good values, good moral principles, and in finding the conflict in this case means in finding the difference in opinions, in finding the contrast, I'm able to act in a way that is constructive, is respectful. And if I don't reach any agreement, I don't actually launch any angry, violent attack. This is being a pacifist. Being a pacifist adds to my divine honesty. See? So as a whole, every time I not just don't do anything bad, but I absolutely use my intelligence, my energy, my motivation, the power of my words, if there is something in there, to spread love, to spread or bring hope, to help. Every time I actively do something about somebody else, and I don't judge my well-being by whether I am well, but I judge my well-being for whether not just me, but most of my brothers and sisters, or all my brothers and sisters and people that I can reach and have an impact on are well. This all goes in favor of living through the divine honesty. Because divine honesty is nothing more than living a righteous life on divine terms. It's nothing more than living according to everything that Jesus came here to teach us 2021 years ago. So, why is it important for us to maybe talk about this today and reflect about it? Well, I thought about this myself, and I said, well, now that I'm much more aware of this difference, what would it change for me moving forward? Well, what happened to me, I can tell you based on what I felt and how I've experienced this learning, I certainly feel more responsibility, positive responsibility. It's not a responsibility that is very heavy on my shoulders, but it is almost like a awakening call, telling me, look, if you've got conditions, and if you can, don't just look at your own life, your own well-being. Look beyond. Do everything you can. Validate your brothers and sisters' sufferings, because there are plenty. Yeah. Don't underestimate their stories, their journeys, their struggles. Because what it might be simple for me, it's certainly a mountain to be climbed by a friend. Because we all have different strengths and different weaknesses, isn't it? So I will certainly reflect a little bit different in the next time that somebody asks me, are you an honest man? Well, I think my answer to that would be, I'm trying to be an honest man as much as I can. But I think every day I can be a bit more honest. Not just according to what we understand as honesty on earth, but certainly honesty as far as what we understand on a divine level. So, guys, I hope that these reflections today would have been useful for you as well, as they were for me. I apologize, I'm not, as you can probably see, I'm not in the highest possible energy. I struggled a bit during the week with a cold and a flu, not COVID, I'm very tested, and and yeah, just really try my best to bring to you all of those teachings. So I thank you for your patience and attention. And let's in this moment then close our eyes. Let's in this moment feel the presence of our mentor guides, of the spirituality that helps us right now and will be with us, helping and supporting us throughout our weeks, our months to come, our years, our life. Let's ask them to help us to internalize the teachings we just received throughout this lecture. Letting those new concepts, or perhaps revised concepts, to really sink in. And with time, ask the support of the spiritual world for us to be able to then put those new understandings and concepts in practice. Let's in this moment then send an overall vibration to all the needs in the globe. Let's send positive intentions, positive thoughts, thoughts of love, peace, acceptance, tolerance, to all of the leaders, all of the societies on earth. And let's exercise that same patience, tolerance, acceptance ourselves. Thank you so much, God. Thanks, Jesus. Thanks, everyone. And I wish you a very good evening. Thank you. Bye.